I actually can't find any difficulty 4, so we're gonna do a difficulty 3. We're gonna do this one. Oh my gosh. Okay, so similar type of rules, but how could this one, this one doesn't feel like it should be a difficulty 3. This one feels like it should, like this has to be a thing, and then that and that. That has to be like that. Oh, this could be, oh, you could have this instead. Oh my gosh, okay. Actually, I take it back. Let's just separate. We know this one at least has to be a 1x2. Same as this one has to be a 1x2. This one has to be different. So it can't be a 1x2 like this. It can't be a 1x2 like that. So I think that means it has to be a 1x3, which means this one is a 1x1 by itself, which makes this one either a 1x1 or a 1x2. But this one's got to be a 1x3. This one's got to be different, obviously. So it really just depends on what these restrictions are. Which one snakes this middle guy. This one's got to at least take the corner. This one's got to at least take the corner, which means this one's got to also take this corner in there. This one's got to take the ones that are hiding. So do these. This one has to be different than this, so it has to be a 1x2. And so that leaves this one at least a 1x2. We don't know which one takes this middle. Oh my gosh, you know what I just realized? This could be a 1x1 and this could be a 1x4. So we don't actually know if this is a 1x2 or not. And that changes like everything, because then this could be like this and that could be together. Oh, and there's just okay, so we gotta restart. Never mind. This difficulty, there's a reason this one's so difficult. Okay, so this one's gotta at least be a 1x2. And all of the ones that are kind of on the side have to connect to the ones that are out here. Otherwise, their little guys would be stranded. So we at least have this. That's what we got so far. Okay, so up here, so this one could be a 1x3. In fact, it has, because it either has to be a 1x3 or a 1x4, but this shape up here has to be the same as that. But this one can't be a 1x4. So these two up here have to be a 1x3. Which means that this one has to be different than that one, which means it has to be a 1x2. This one has to be different than that one, so it means it has to be a 1x3. This one has to be a 1x3 as well, and the only way that can happen is like that, which means this is a 1x1. And this one has to be at least a 1x3, but it has to be different than this one, so it's got to be a 1x4, which means that this one is a 1x1 all by itself, same as that one. And then this one can't be a 1x1, so it's got to be the 1x2, and this is going to be a 1x1. And then this one's got to be different than this one, so it's got to be a 1x3. This has got to be by itself, which means that this one's got to be a 1x3 because it's got to be the same as this one. So then we've got a 1x2 here, a 1x3 there, and a 1x2 there. Oh no, 1x3 and then a 1x1. Yes. Interesting. Tricky, tricky. Okay, so this one, ooh, we got the polyominoes pieces back. So there's gonna be 4 regions total, but 2 of them are gonna be like an L shape like this. Or, no, one's gonna be an L shape, one's gonna be a zigzag. And the rest are just kind of free form. We're gonna take up the rest of the pieces, but they have to be the same. So the whole region is 64. And then we have 2 4 pieces, which is 8. So 64 minus 8 is 56, which means the remaining 2 regions up here have to be 56, which means they're 28 each. And they have to look the exact same. So they've got to look like this, at least. They've all got to come down like this, but they've got to look the exact same, even with these guys being different shapes, which is really interesting. So we know that these have to be a part of the same region and these have to be a part of the same region. And then from here, it's either going to be a zigzag like this or a zigzag like that, which means that these over here are at least going to be a part of the purple, I believe. I don't think there's a way we could snake the blue over here and have this one also come over here and they be this like symmetrical or the same shape. So yeah, or these are going to be all the purple. So then the blue guy on the left is going to have those as a part of itself. But we know it can't connect like this because then we couldn't make a zigzag. So let's look at how the L can form over here. I think that means the L has to look like this, and this light blue's got to connect like this, which means we can complete that shape. So then we got to get, oh my gosh, this can be an L shape like this. Oh my goodness. But I think, but I think that's right. I totally messed that up, but I'm pretty sure this is right so far because of this square right here. This is that zigzag right here, which means that this is that L shape. So this is part of the purple, right? Because now we have this little guy. And then like this. And then now we just have to make them look symmetrical, maybe like this. Oh, so I did that wrong. I had the logic wrong, but I figured it out anyway. So that's okay. That's all right. Some of these are hard. I say some of these are tricky after like almost every puzzle, but like, I don't have to tell you, they are very tricky. Okay, so we're gonna have a lot of Tetris pieces. Quite a lot of them. But one thing we do know is that this one has to be a Tetris piece. So anything touching here can't be a Tetris piece, meaning this Tetris piece has to go like that. And I think that's the only way it can go, which means that these are 1x1s, which means this Tetris piece has to come like this and be like that, which means that has to connect. Which means this Tetris piece can't come like this because it would force that to be a 1x1, but that's not how it works. So this Tetris piece has to go like that, or no, has to go like this, which means this has to be like a 1x3 or a 1x2 maybe, but at least has to go like that. And then this is going to be at least a 1x2, or actually it could just be a 1x1, because this could be a Tetris piece, and then this could be a Tetris piece, but then it couldn't because those have to be different. Right? Is there no other way to make it? Oh, this could be a Tetris piece. And then this guy. What's wrong? What did I do wrong? Oh, I didn't do it wrong. All right. All right. What about, let's just do an easy one so we can get to the next level because I'm excited about the new mechanics. So, elbow macaroni, 1x1, Tetris, elbow, 1, 1. This guy. A 1x1, a Tetris, and then is that done? Ah, it is! I did so good. Okay, yes, into the woods. Restore the forest entrance window. Oh my gosh, we're moving on into the world. Oh my gosh, this is the level 5. Oh my lord. That is scary. You know what? We'll just tackle it. Oh, it's the shape of a 5. You see that? This is scary as heck. Okay. All regions must have an area of exactly 5 and must contain a circle, a square, and a triangle. Okay, so first step, we're going to separate any of the regions that have shapes, the same shapes touching, because we know those have to be different shapes. And then we just got to kind of start somewhere and figure it out. So this blue can't connect to this red because it'd have no way of getting a yellow with having a shape that's an area of 5. So this blue and red have got to be together, which puts this blue and red together, which means that this is a different shape than this guy. So this is probably going to have this yellow and this red, and then this is going to have this yellow, and then this is going to have this yellow. So then this will come up, these shapes will be like this. So then we have a staircase like that, and then we have a natural little piece like this, and then these connect, and these connect, but we don't, oh no, then it has to come down like this, and then we have a 5 piece like that. We have then a 5 piece like that, a 5 piece like this. That red and blue are connected, and it could have this yellow, or it could come out to this yellow. We're not quite sure yet. But we know this red and yellow are going to be connected, which means this red's going to at least have to come up, and they're going to be two different shapes. And then we can kind of work over here. This is going to be a 5-piece. 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 These are all going to go together, same as these, so they're going to make different shapes, which means that this yellow is going to be part of this blue. Means that this one can come out and snake these two, which means this one would come out and have these. This one would come up and over. This one would have to come up and grab these two, which only leaves this piece and that piece to make the whole thing. Oh, complete the final puzzle in the town area. So now we're moving on to, to the forest. Wow. Look at all of those puzzles. Oh my goodness gracious. There's a lot of puzzles. All right, so now there's definitely going to be new mechanics. Yeah, see? So the area number shows the area of a region. So this one's got to be a 4, this one's got to be 3, this one's got to be an area of 3, and this one's got to be an area of 4. And there's 10 spaces total, so this is all going to take up, there's only going to be 4 spaces. So this one's got to at least come out and come up, and so does this one, and so does that one, and there. That one is easy, but that's also just the introductory level. What about this one? So it's important to know that like 2 numbers right next to each other, or if they're different numbers, they can't be the same shape. Like this could be a part of the same shape, but this 4 has to come over and up to escape this hole, which means that 3's got to come up like this, which means I think that these 5s have to be together. This 2 comes out. This 4 could also be together, but this 2's got to come out and that one's done, which means this 4's got to come up, this 3's got to come up, this 5's got to come down like this, and then this 4's got to be together. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, what about this one? Okay, 1, that one's easy. This is going to be a cool little puzzle mechanic. I like it. So all of the remaining numbers add up to the squares that are in the entire shape. So there's no like side shapes, which is important to know. So this 5 up here, the only way it can happen, it can be is like this, because otherwise it can't cross these numbers. So that means the 2 by 2 has to go like this. The 3 by 3 has to at least come down, but it has to come over to get this shape because all the shapes have to be in part of the numbers, right? So then a 3 by 3 here, or 1 by 3 here, means a 2 by 2 here, and the 7 by 7 is the rest of the shape. I hope I'm not slurring my words. I've been recording for like 2 hours and it's like almost 1 a.m. But the puzzles don't stop. The puzzles can't stop. I won't stop. I won't stop recording. I'm recording for the rest of my life. I'm playing every single one of these freaking puzzles one of these days. Okay, so that 1 by 1 is here. This 4 by 4 has to come up, but there's going to be some shapes that aren't a part of these guys. So that's interesting to know. And then this 4 has got to come up. It's got to go to the left. It can't come down because it'd be on opposite sides of the same line. So it's got to come up. So that's our 4 by 4. This 2's got to come up. And then, so these are 1 by 1s. And then it's got to come out from here. I guess it doesn't. This could be a 1. So let's not jump too far ahead. So this 2 by 2 can't come up like this because then there'd be no way for this 6 to be made. So the 2 by 2 has got to come to the side, which means that this 6 by 6 got to snake up like this. Or not a 6 by 6, but a 6 area region, which means that this has got to be a 1 by 1 all by itself. This 4's got to come up, and then those are 2 1 by 1s. Cute. Oh my gosh, so cute. Oh, 21. Okay, so let's just keep, there's a 21 and then there's 5 spaces left over. So let's just keep snaking it. It can't be there, so we know that. It's got to come around, can't be there. It's got to come down and over and up, and then it's got to kind of just snake so it's not touching 2 sides of the same thing. And then it's like that. Nifty. Now there's 2 branching paths. Which way do we want to go? What does this look like? The area number, and then is there a new guy over here? Yes, there is a new game mechanic called a palisade. So this shows the shape that must be made by the borders of that cell all rotations can be used. And all regions must be an elbow. So I think what it's showing is that like this one has to have two borders, like making like a little roof at the top, which is already used up by here, which means that it can't have any other borders. So it's got to come down like this, and then an elbow like that. And then this has got to be something like that, where there's three borders, but we don't yet know, I guess, which side it's on. I guess we do. It has to be like that. Sorry, I just stuttered really badly, but I'm getting tired. But that's such a cool new, look how beautiful this game is. Oh my goodness, that's such a cool new thing to do. Cells containing this must always be dead ends. Cells containing the hallway must always have two borders on opposite sides. So we'll call this a dead end, we'll call this a hallway. I think I saw Aliens Rock calling it that. So meaning this is gotta be where the barriers are. So it's gotta be like this. And if this has gotta be a dead end, it's gotta go like this. So yeah, you just have two guys like that. Okay. These intros are just really showing you how to do the mechanic. All right, so again, it's gotta be a long hallway like this, which means the shape's gotta look like that, gotta look like that. And then all the other borders have to be free, and then it's gotta look like that. Oh yeah, ooh. I think the blue ones show the story progression, so how to get to all of them. So if there's a blue option, I'm always gonna choose it. Cells containing the little house ceiling must lie in a corner of a region and must be connected to two other cells. Right. So this has got to be a corner, so it's got to connect to those two. And this has got to be a dead end. This one's got to be a hallway, so if it can't be blocking this way, it's got to be blocking like this. Which means that this is a shape all on its own. And then this one's got to be a dead end, which means the dead end has to come this way. This is a 1. This has got to be, this has got to connect to those two. This has got to go up like this, which means that's a 1. And then this has got to be a dead end, which means those are 1s. Oh, I'm digging this. Oh my gosh. Remember, a single region can never touch both sides of a border. This means that dangling border ends are forbidden. Dangling border ends. That's what they call it. Okay. Oh, so this one has no barriers, so it's got to come up like this. I don't want to do cute yellow all the time. Let's make a different color. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Okay, this one's got to be a dead end, which means it has to look like this. This one has got to be a hallway, which means it has to look like that. This one's got to have one barrier, so it's got to look, no. It's got to come out from there. And then that shape's complete. Why do they make one of them purple? Oh my gosh. What about this one? All right. So this has got to extend out. This one's also got to extend out. This one's got to be a dead end, so it's got to go like this. This one's got to be a hallway, which means it has to go up like this. This one's also got to be a hallway, which means it has to extend out like this, which means that this one can't connect to that shape. So this has got to be a part of that shape. Oh my gosh, why did it make two different shapes? Like this. Disconnect. Oh my gosh, there you go. It just wouldn't connect like I thought it would. All right, still on level 1s. In these puzzles, you may find it very helpful to use edge drawing mode to mark borders you are absolutely sure of. Yeah, I just use both at the same time. It just makes it so much easier to do both. Okay, so this one is open-ended. There's no borders blocking it. This one has a little corner, so meaning it's going to extend out like this. This one only has one barrier, so it's either this one or it's this one. This one has barriers along all 4, so these are all 1x1s. This one's a dead end, which means it has to come out like that, which means that the hallway's got to come out like this, which means this one's a 1x1. This one is at least hanging out by itself. This is either going to be blocked off like this or like this, which means that this is a part of that shape no matter this one. These two are connected. But this one, okay, this has to be a free hallway, so that's got to connect like that. And then this has got to come down like that. Yep. Let me know in the comments, by the way, if any of these mechanics are confusing to you, like if you just don't understand them, or if like you struggle with ones that I didn't struggle with, and you can understand the ones that I sucked at. I just think it'd be fun to see. There's so many. Oh my gosh. See, you have to do 17 of these type of levels to break out of this area. And then over here, you could also come this way. And there's a thing over here you have to get only 9. Okay, that's not as bad. But this is 14. Wait, how did I already have some of those done? Oh, this might be like the optional section. And this is like the progression section. I don't know. But the blue I think shows story. So let's do level 2 over here. This is the area puzzles again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just kidding, it can't be that. So maybe then these gotta connect, and that's gotta be a 7, and all of those are 1s. And then maybe same with this. No, that's not. That's a little too far. But I think the 7 is like this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the rest are just 1 by 1s. Nice. Oh, that opened everything. Just one more, I had to open everything. And then, oh my goodness. Anyways, but this is where I'm going to end this video. This game is probably, oh my gosh. I know I just said Storyteller was my favorite game ever, but I think this might take the cake. I am digging these puzzles and how I have to use my brain for it. And it's so fun. If you haven't played this game, please go download it yourself. And if you haven't seen my other videos for this series, please go and watch them because it's gonna be like literally endless content. If there's over 1,200 puzzles, can you imagine how many I'm gonna play? Like let's see how many puzzles I've done so far. I've only done 114, so I'm only a 12th of the way through the game, and I've probably been playing for like 5 hours. So can you imagine? That's gonna be like 60 hours. But then the puzzles are gonna get harder and harder. So this is gonna take me forever and a day. But I'm really excited to tackle the challenge. I'm so stinking excited. But anyway, I'm not gonna ramble for this outro. I'm just gonna say bye and that I love you. So see you in the next one.